What up, Fight World? This is Ashley's Corner. Now, I had to do this video, okay? I had to do this video. So much hate and so much talk in the build of this Kell Brook and Earl Spence Jr. fight. I had to make this video. I seen a guy put almost the exact same video, but it was all of Earl Spence because he was in favor of this cat right here, Kell Brook. But I'm in favor of Earl Spence, and I wanted to know what it looked like if I did if I did Kell Brooks. And what I did was I just checked and looked at all the people he fought in the past, what their record was, what it is now, if they still fight now, all of that. I want you to judge for yourself about these fighters, because people been saying Earl Spence hasn't fought nobody this whole time. He hasn't fought nobody. He hasn't shown shit. He doesn't, he doesn't supposed to deserve a fight. He doesn't even deserve a fight with Kell Brook. But and then on the other hand, you got Kell Brook saying that he deserves to be the best in the division and all of that. So I wanted to check his record to see if that's true. Do you really deserve to be the best in the division? So let's see. Kell Brook's first fight was against this guy. It was in September 17th, 2004 was his very first fight, and he won on points. He fought Buckley. He was 31 when he had 31 wins and 189 losses. His second fight was by a guy last name Cosnet, Cosnett. That was a TKO in the first round. When he fought him, he was 0-2. He had 2 losses and no wins. His third fight was with a guy named Williamson. He TKO'd Williamson in the second round, and his record was 12 wins and 46 losses. His fourth fight was against a man named last name Coleman. That was a TKO in the first round, and that was his last fight. His second to the last fight was with Brook. So moving on to his fifth fight was against a man last name Taylor. He won by points, and of course the fight went all 6 rounds. And Taylor had 16 wins and 77 losses when they fought each other. His sixth fight is with a man last name, I think his name is Lee Hanley. Kell Brook won by points on that too, and that was in March 2005. He won by points and went all 6 rounds. And Hanley's record was 2 wins and 5 losses at the time. And then he fought this cat named Smith, last name Smith. He won by points and went all 6 rounds. The Smith's record was 12 wins and 85 losses at the time. Now, the 8th person he fought, last name is Whiteman. He TKO'd Whiteman in the second round, and his record at the time was 2-1, 2 wins and 1 loss. Now, his 9th fight, he fought Smith again. Okay, he fought him again, and that fight went to points. All 6 rounds went to points. All right. You see how weak this dude is, though. I'm just still mad that his fights could still go on points. But then he fought him again, back to back. He fought Smith again, and that fight went to points in April 2006. At the time, Smith had 13 wins and 97 losses. 97 losses, okay? Now, Harvey was his fight number 11. He TKO'd Harvey in the third round. Harvey's record was 3-26 at the time. Now then he fought a guy named Cotter, Cottier. He TKO'd him in the third round, and his record was 2-15. And he only had one win and 1 draw since they fought each other. Now, the next one would be Kurt. He was the 13th fight. Last name Kirk. He TKO'd him in the first round. and his record was 11-58 when they fought. Then the next fight he fought was David. He fought David in in April 2007. He TKO'd him in the third round, and David is the one who dropped Kell Brook. I remember, if y'all ever remember me putting that video out of the chin to see who got the better chin in between these fighters. David Brook dropped Kell Brook in this fight that I'm talking about. And it was his second to the last fight when he fought Kell Brook in 2007. He fought a cat last name Soda, Stoda. He fought him. That was his 15th fight, and he won by points. The fight went all 6 rounds in. When he fought Brook, that was his last fight. Fight number 16, last name Gethin, Gethin. They fought in March 2008. His record at the time was 8-12, and only won one fight after fighting Brook. And Brook won the fight by he retired between the rounds. But the next fight was against this guy right here, last name Jones. It was a TKO in the 7th round. And his record was 15-1 when they fought each other. Now the next fight is Kevin McArt, whatever his fucking name is. That was a TKO in the first round, and he is the first person out of all the people that I just talked about who's still fighting. Everybody else that I just said before I said his name don't fight no more, okay? And at the time, his record was 25-5. His next fight was against a guy last name Elwell, Elwell, and Brook won that fight in TKO in the second round in January 2009. And that was his last fight in 2009 when he fought Brook. And then he fought this guy right here. His last name is Lomax. He beat Lomax in the third round by TKO. And at the time, Lomax was 15-1 when he fought Brook. Now, after that, that was his 20th fight. His 21st fight was against a guy last name Bienias, and that was a TKO in the 6th round. That fight happened in March 2010, and his record at the time was 39-3. Then he fought a guy named Jennings, and Jennings is the second person that I've named that still fights. Everybody else does not fight. Just that one person in this guy right here. Kell Brook won that fight in the 5th round in TKO, and Kell Brook was Jennings' last fight in 2010. Then the next person he fought was this guy right here, last name Colty. Colty got TKO'd in the 2nd round. And his record was 21-5. In June 2011, he fought last name Indu, and he won. The fight went all rounds, and he won by unanimous decision. Kell Brook won by unanimous decision in June 2011, and he also still fights. His record at the time was 48-12, and lost against Alvarez right before he lost against Brook. His 25th fight was against this guy. You see his name, last name Jackie Witz or whatever. He TKO'd him in the 6th round, and he also still fights. And at the time when he fought Brook, his record was 38-9. Then his 26th fight was with a guy named Gallery, Gallarza. And the reason why I'm spelling this because I can't tell if the name is on the screen or not until after I make the video. So I'm just covering it. I'm just making sure you guys know who I'm talking about. But that fight, Brook beat him by TKO in the 5th round. And at that time when he fought Brook, his record was 17-2. His 27th fight was by this guy right here, last name Hatton. And he won by unanimous. Kell Brook won by unanimous decision. This happened in March 2012, and he still fights. And Hatton's record was 42-5 when he fought Brook. Then he fought Carson Jones. Now Carson Jones had Kell Brook nose leaking. This is that guy who had his nose leaking, and he still fights as well. Kell Brook won by majority decision. The fight went all rounds. And at the time when they fought, Carson Jones' record was 34-8. This is his 29th fight. Saldivia, Saldivia. Brook TKO'd him in the third round. He still fights as well. And at the time, his record was 41-2. Then he fought Carson Jones again. And at this time, I believe his record was 35-9, but he did get TKO'd in the 8th round. This happened in July 2013, and I remember seeing the highlights of this fight. It was pretty good, and it wasn't one-sided, and I do believe the judges stopped the fight very prematurely. He was heated. Carson Jones was very heated. That I believe the ref, Howard Foster, the same ref that's going to be reffing Errol Spence fight, is the one who stole it from Carson Jones and gave this fight to Kell Brook with the early TKO. His 31st fight was against Senchenko. Last name spelling is Senchenko. Brook TKO'd him in the 4th round, and he still fights as well. And his record when he fought Kell Brook was 34-1, and that's not bad. But it's a TKO. I'm thinking all of these TKOs could have possibly been, tossed in the air. It's by an opinion. The ref gives his opinion to see if you can, you can still fight or go on. And a lot of times when we're talking about Howard Foster, which is usually his referee, he always gives it to Kell Brook. So, I mean, all these TKOs is very suspicious to me. But, moving on. His 32nd fight against this guy, Kell Brook won by TKO in the 8th round. And at the time, his record was 18-3. After that is when he fought our guy, Sean Porter. And, of course, everybody's seen that fight. Everybody knows he still fights. And that fight went to majority decision of Kell Brook's favor. And at the time, Porter was, I believe, his first undefeated fighter he fought, which is 24-0. And that, if you ask me, was his real first test. And this fight took place in March 2014. But after he won the title, this is who he fought. I believe he went back to the UK to fight 3 people. And this is the first one he fought. His last name, Dan. In the 4th round, he retired between the rounds. That's what happened. He retired between the rounds. He couldn't fight no longer. This fight happened in March 2015, and he still fights as well. And at that time, Dan's record was 34-3. Then he fought this man right here, last name Gavin. And Brook beat him in the 6th round by TKO. He still fights as well. Gavin's record when he fought Brook was 22-2, which isn't that bad. But, you have a title, you should step it up a little bit more. And then he fought, this is his 3rd fight after the title, last name Bizier, Bizier. And this was a TKO in the 2nd round in March 2016. But Brook was his last fight. He hasn't had one since then. Then he fought good old Triple G. And, of course, everybody knows that it was a TKO loss that he handed Brook his first loss in the 5th round in September 2016. And now the next fight is going to be my man Errol Spence in 2017, May 27th. I cannot wait for this fight. Okay, I absolutely cannot wait for this fight. Oh my gosh. Now, before everybody gets in my comments and talking all types of crazy, I did this video because I seen a Kell Brook fan, I'll say it again, did the exact same thing to Earl Spence and kept saying he hasn't fought nobody and he fought bums. Ladies and gentlemen, please, looking at both careers that I just showed you, I mean, you can go and look at all the people that Earl Spence fought since the day he turned pro. Go ahead. I guarantee you it's not going to be close to the fuckery I just showed you just now. And I purposely told everybody. I know you can see everybody's record that I showed you in his career that he fought, but I told you when he fought these people as far as the year and what their record was when he fought them for a reason. You could put everything together yourself. It's 1,000 things you could say about what I showed you just now. It's a lot of things that I could say right now, but I'm not. Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody thinks different ways. Hey, you seen it for yourself, and I mean in the United States, if you have 4 losses, yo, you're not fighting a champion. You're definitely not going to be fighting anybody with a O in their losses. You know what I'm saying? Don't have any losses because why? What's the reason of you fighting such bums? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what. And out of the 37 fighters that Kell Brook has fought in his professional career, only 14 of them are still fighting. And 2 of them are Americans, Triple G and Sean Porter. Everybody else just retired. They old or they realize they're not good boxers. Yeah, he only fought 7 fighters that had under 4 losses. And Triple G and Porter was the only 2 fighters he fought with a O on their record. You know, with no losses. They're the only 2 people he fought, and they're Americans. This is why, right now, Kell Brook and his team never talks about his fights in the UK. This is why that he knows everybody he fought is bums. He knows this shit. I'm not trying to hear it. He knows the people he fought is not even up to the standards of the American fighters. And I'm not saying everybody in the UK isn't up to the standards. I'm talking about the people Kell Brook fought in his career is not up to par with the people that Earl Spence fought. If we're comparing, Brook fought the most bums. And I mean in the US, you're considered a bad fighter once you get 5 losses, you suck, dog. I mean, everybody that he fought had fucking double digit losses, motherfucker. Over 10 losses, 90 losses, 80 losses, 60 losses. You supposed to stop being a goddamn fighter. If you lose 10 times, you have 10 losses. You need to really think about if this is what you want your career to be. You need to really analyze your life or get a little bit better and critique yourself, because evidently what you're doing ain't working. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna have that many losses and still be a professional fighter is beyond me. But you see what happens over there. It seems like they do that TKO shit with the referee is some whimsical shit. All right, they do that shit whenever they don't want to ref no more. It seems like the shit's whack. All right, it's whack. I mean, just ask yourself. Kell Brook has been fighting since 2004. That was his first fight. All right, he's been fighting for 13 whole years, and look at his fucking record. And I'm sorry, not his record. Look at what I just showed you. Look at his past opposition and his career in the last 13 years. Look at the people he fought. Being at the level he's at, be honest with yourself. He kind of like a bum. I'm sorry. For 13 years, this is, you fought these sorry ass people and this is how far you got, yo? Seriously? Shit, it took you long enough. Fuck. And flag on the play. Shit. He doesn't deserve to be the best in the division. You've been in the game. You've been boxing for 13 years as a professional. And the people you fought were bums. 90%, probably more than 90% of who you fought was bums. Now, I do not want Kell Brook fans all in my fucking comments saying stupid shit. Alright? You see what I put on there. Sleep on it. Think about it. Hell, if you need to, look up Earl Spencer's career and all the people he fought. But don't tell me that they wasn't bums. Don't tell me none of that shit. Alright? I seen the records for myself. Alright? And I see they do things a bit different in the UK because most of these people that's on this list shouldn't even been fighters. All right. And a lot of the people that he fought, I didn't put that on there, but a lot of people that Kell Brook fought in his career were old ass men. They were old as shit. They was at the end of their fucking whole game. And after they fought him, they continued to lose. But subscribe and like the page. This has been Ashley's Corner. Peace out. I'm out.